It's just having the milk.
Is she just having a milk?
Yeah.
Welcome to Keira's birth story. We found out we're having a little girl at our 12-week scan. Everything seemed to be going really well. There was nothing to be concerned about until we hit our 37-week routine checkup. I was measuring 33 weeks, so I was sent in for an ultrasound that day. Thought nothing of it. I just thought it was my tiny little girl after having two boys. I did feel that she was small and I was full of fluid, but thought nothing of it because she was my little girl. She didn't move too much, but still, quiet girl. So I got a phone call straight back from the obstetrician that day saying you need to come in. Still thought nothing of it, being very naive. And I was then told that day that she had enlarged ventricles and to be safe we needed to get induced on the Monday, so 3 days later. I had to go home and ring my husband who worked away, and that was a Friday. He came home Sunday and we were induced Monday morning. We were induced Monday, nothing was happening until late Monday night, and there was actually a shift change at 6 p.m. and there wasn't too many staff on, so we were told that they would do nothing with me until the shift change at 6 a.m. to start bringing on the labour. But Keira had her own little agenda, and the contractions started about 3 a.m. and then I got in the shower about 5. It was just my peaceful place where I felt at ease. Then at 6:15, I got a cannula put into my wrist. I knew I wanted an epidural at some stage through the birth. So as he put the cannula in, I was still on my little bouncy ball. And then I got off the ball and all of a sudden felt this massive drop. So I was on the floor in the shower in my room and I ended up pressing the emergency button to the midwives coming in going, no, you're all right. Like birth is starting, while I'm actually sitting there pulling my pants down going, baby's coming. The emergency button was pushed at 6:35. And I was put into the birth suite at 6:45 and Keira was born breech at 6:53 a.m. Literally 8 minutes after I was put into the birth suite. I had 2 pushes, and in the first push they realised she was breech and another emergency button got pushed because no one knew what to do. Everyone came running and they just had to wait for her to wiggle on out herself with my last push. Her birth weight was 5.02 pounds, so nice and tiny, thank God, for a breech baby. The next was to get a blood test and a urine test to confirm it was actually congenital CMV. And then the next day we were able to get an ultrasound done through her soft spot. And that was to check her enlarged ventricles and the calcifications on her brain. 3 days later, we actually got the confirmation it was in fact congenital CMV, and along with that diagnosis came all her appointments to follow. We had to check her hearing again because she failed in the hospital. We had to go to Brisbane to get the medication she needed to stop the virus from continuing to attack her hearing. We also needed to go to the public hospital to check for cerebral palsy as well as a few other things I couldn't remember. But this was all in the next 3 to 4 weeks after her birth. So the fun was about to begin. I'd also like to show this photo. This photo is of my girlfriend, Keira. She was in the room with us when the paediatrician came in to give us the diagnosis. And as naive as we all were still at that point, Keira was in the room because I thought nothing of it. So Keira was there when the paediatrician told us it was CMV, that we need to watch out for seizures, that she could be deaf, she could be blind, a magnitude of things. And I somewhat felt bad for Keira to be in that room, understanding and listening to what that paediatrician had to tell us. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that everything had just been turned upside down. This photo will always remind me of that last day in hospital when we got the diagnosis and how our life just got flipped upside down. Okay, I will post another video after this with the next stage of Keira's life and the amount of appointments and the type of appointments that we had to go through before her first cochlear implant. So please like and subscribe and follow our journey with us. Thanks. Bye.